Jordan taking over Chicago. It's the coach, and you're watching Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Jordan Howard, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside the Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, things haven't gone exactly according to plan to this point. But, boy, you and I down there with them before the game, they were fired up.
And they understand how important this game is. Win this one, they can start to think about a turnaround.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They go play action here on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lloyd. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The numbers for him from a week ago, 16 carries, 54 yards.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down throw, Stafford. Complete out right to Jake Butt. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. But look now at the lineup defensively for Chicago. They find themselves just a couple of spots outside of the top 10 defending the pass, number 12 in the league.
So in prepping for this game, I kept asking myself the question, what's keeping this group from being top 10 in the league against the pass?
And?
Too many mistakes, especially little mistakes. And those add up into big mistakes. Big mistakes add up into points against you.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. Khalil Mack able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate, and in doing so, sent this one off target.
That's caught by Howard, and he'll get it down here to the 43. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The numbers for Howard a week ago: 8 carries, 110 yards, and the score.
And even though it's a short week, running backs love when they're in a groove, and that's exactly where he is right now. He's hoping to feast a little bit more here on Thanksgiving.
On first, they go right back to Howard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. The tackle there by Quandre Diggs.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
As my dad used to tell me all the time, when you're going ready to play a big-time game, especially when you have one going into a dome setting, better strap it up tight because that crowd can really affect things.
Especially on 3rd downs like the one we just saw there with the incompletion. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
On 1st down, Stafford here. Jones breaking from the contact. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. It's that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft.
Offense.
Okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
It'll be a gain of 18 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
It's a gain of just a couple there, but it's enough to get him the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Throw left side complete. That's Burton.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Trubisky to throw. Flush to his right. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sheldon Richardson in there to drop him for a loss on the play. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right?
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And this ball's going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not...
And he pops up the... Oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. Room to run past midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That burst good for 20 and a 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
And that was a good collision right there, and I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball and where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play he did, so you've got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Looking to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Brooks Reed in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect him. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They're going to look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So he gets a shot at atoning for the earlier miss here in the first half and able to knock it through.
And what a relief for him, don't you think? Because how many games have we done where kickers missed one early and never gotten a chance to atone for it the rest of the game? That's a lot to carry around.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. And they don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Stafford. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. Stop shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now Stafford. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Escaping the pressure right. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And
Personal
happy.
foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. He's got daylight. 20. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And this is going to be caught? No, they say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now it's Stafford. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
That's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
False start, offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
Out of the gun, Stafford. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets it down to the 32. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On second down, here's Stafford. Oh, the rookie nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. Third down now. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Throwing is Stafford, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back out onto the field comes Allen Robinson. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited that he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll set up a throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Sheldon Richardson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. They'll throw now on the final play. And he pops up the football near his own goal line. And the offense does cover this one, but back inside their own 5-yard line. So we're at halftime here in the annual Thanksgiving game in Detroit. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks so much. We'll get back to you and Charles in Detroit in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at what's following our 2 games later today. Good matchups all up and down the schedule there. We'll highlight the one in Cincinnati. A big test coming up for the Bengals as they'll take on the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Excellent games in the late afternoon window as well. One being out in Los Angeles, where it'll be the Rams taking on the Minnesota Vikings. And lastly, we'll all be tuned in on Monday night for what should be a great one. between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they're going to stop him short of the 20 with a penalty flag down. Well, what's the call here?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. Possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, being on second half no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens.
Holding. Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. That one good for 14 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Burton. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
On 1st down at Stafford. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Nick Kwiatkowski. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. From the 50 at Stafford. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And, partner, it's safe to say that the secondary really contributed to that sack.
Yeah, nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They covered everything. Nowhere to go with the football. But my question is, why didn't he throw it away?
And now the Bears coming out as they get ready. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Burton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away. Now he'll throw deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Darius Slay with a pick. And he'll bring it all the way back just a yard or two shy of midfield.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field.
Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4. To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road. When it's 3rd and goal, you don't need to make a heroic play. You just need to make a play and able to knock that one away. That was really nice.
Yeah, I don't think going for the interception, like you said, just wanted to make sure that the ball hit the ground, and it did.
I'm going to call heroic anyway.
So they settled for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll set up to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Sean Robinson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
They'll look to throw, eluding the pressure right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. After some early struggles running the ball, they've really picked it up. Early it just seemed like there were no holes there. Now all of a sudden the holes seem to be there. I don't know if that's just my imagination.
And give them credit that they kept their confidence, because sometimes when you get stuffed big in the running game early, especially for an entire half, it really makes you retreat a little bit, but not this group. They always have the confidence. If they just get their assignments down, they get in sync with their runners, and off they went. But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And fortunately, the offense will cover this one up back at the 5-yard line. The Lions on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From his own goal line, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we watch where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 3rd down, that's George. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just
a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. And now here is another interception. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On second down, Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galloway. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Give him 30 yards there. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They go play action here on first down. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions add on to their lead. Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll drop to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 36. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. So out now come the Lions. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with third down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And that'll extend this lead now up to 25. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. They're going to look to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Detroit. This is brought in at the 21. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Detroit, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And now they'll get the weekend off as they get a little extra time to prepare to face the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Bears, the problems just get worse and worse as they fall to 2-9 now on the year. And